Hey guys, Mr. McKinney here, just doing an overview of the review unit for AP Calculus AB. And I got this meme from Mr. Bell, and I think it's a great one. Not only have you been preparing all year to get ready for your AP Calculus exam, but really, you've been preparing for this AP Calculus exam your entire math career. Every course before this one could just be called pre-cal, or the number of pre's preceding it. Everything you've been doing in high school math is preparing you guys for the AP exam that's coming up. So I wanted to go through an overview of the structure of the unit. So first of all, we structure the 8 units differently than the way that College Board or AP structures the units. So the 8 units that you guys went through this year are listed off to the left. We're just wrapping up the differential equations unit now. As we start to review for the AP exam, we're going to be switching over to the AB units, the AP units for Calculus AB because AP Classroom is aligned with the College Board units. So we'll be referring to the AP units the rest of the way. Units 1 were pretty similar. Their units 2, 3, 4, and 5 basically get broken up in our units 2 and 3, and then 5. Differential equations pretty much matches up. And then we have a unit on integrals again, area and volume. That's basically their units 6 and 8. So everything that they cover, we cover, just not exactly in the same order. And moving forward, we'll be referring to the AP units, which sometimes match up with ours, but usually are slightly different. Now, as we go through the review unit, there's a total of 11 blocks. And by a block, I mean one A day and one B day. So there will be 8 blocks, 1 for each of the AP units, plus 3 blocks for the mock exam. 1 for the multiple choice portion of the mock, 1 for the free response portion of the mock, and then 1 day to go over both portions of the mock exam and to start making corrections. Now, this year, we're going to throw in an extra day on area and volume, so we'll actually have 12 days this year. But in a normal year, there will be 11 years for review. Most of the days, we'll just be reviewing one AP unit. And so on those days, we'll follow the same structure pretty much every day. So at the start of class, you'll show up on time, put your cell phones in your backpacks away from your desk. You'll get put into a group quiz on that unit. It'll take about 40 minutes. Then we will immediately grade it and go over it. Your teacher will then collect the group quizzes and give you guys 1 free response progress check out of AP Classroom. Now we will have printed it for you all so you guys can work on it in your groups for the next 10 to 15 minutes. And then we will go over that question as well, and you can get some feedback right away. If there's any time left over after that, you can either start working on the multiple choice progress checks or you can start watching some review videos. But every day we're going to take a group quiz, immediately grade that group quiz and go over it, and then work on a free response question, which is one of the free response progress checks out of AP Classroom. This next slide just kind of explains the expectations. So what should you do before class, what should you do during class, and what should you do after class? Everybody will be doing the required section, and then depending on how studious you are, you may do the expected and optional as well. So before class each day, the only thing that's required is that you finish the multiple choice progress checks that are due for that day. So none of them will be due on the first day of the review. My expectation and your teacher's expectation is that you will review before you show up. Primarily, that'll be watching review videos, but you can also use your own notes from those topics and look at the examples that you wrote down and things like that. Our best students will also look through the multiple choice questions from AP Classroom and identify where they might need to ask questions. So ideally, you're looking at the multiple choice progress checks ahead of time so that you know what to look for and you know what to ask questions about during class. That's definitely not required, but our best students will do that. During class, everybody, no matter what, will be required and expected to do the same thing, which is to, number 1, be an active participant. Be willing to engage in conversations during the group quizzes, be willing to ask questions, be willing to make mistakes and learn from them, and be ready to work for the entire 90 minutes. We've got to train y'all to be ready to stay focused for an extended period of time. After class, you are required to complete the multiple choice progress checks. It's usually from that unit. Sometimes we space them out a little bit, but primarily it'll be from that unit. And then ideally, you're going to start getting ready for the next unit. So you'll go up here and you'll start doing the review that we talked about. There will be one free response progress check, which is 100% optional. If you want extra practice, it is posted on the OneStop Shop. It's not available in AP Classroom at all. So just make sure you do the multiple choice progress checks. There will be an additional free response progress check that is 100% optional. Now, AP Classroom has a lot of stuff. We'll be using most of it, but not necessarily in the same format. So each AP unit, and remember there are 8 of them, will have either 1, 2, or 3 multiple choice progress checks, and we are going to do all of them at some point during the review unit. Most of them match up with the day that they are assigned, but like Unit 5 has 3 of them, so we do 2 of them on the Unit 5 day and 1 of them on a mock exam day. So just be following the OneStop Shop to see when things are due. All of these multiple choice progress checks are going to be open from the first day of the review unit, and none of them have due dates in AP Classroom. They will just stay open for the rest of the year. The way to tell when they are due is by looking at the OneStop Shop. AP Classroom refers to it as the Unit 5 Progress Check MCQ Part A. I'm going to refer to it as MC5A. So when I say MC5A, in AP Classroom, you'll see Unit 5 Progress Check Multiple Choice Questions Part A. So these will be the same thing. I'm going to call it MC5A to be short. AP Classroom is going to give it the full name. Each unit will also have 2 free response progress checks. One of them will be required. We're going to do that one in class, and we'll print it for you. The other one will have 2 questions on it, and that one will always be optional, and it'll be available on the OneStop Shop. We're not going to make it available in AP Classroom because we don't want it to be more confusing than it already is. I'm going to refer to those as like free response 1A or free response 1B, whereas AP would refer to it as Unit 1 Progress Check FRQ Part A. So that's the way that AP will refer to it. I will refer to it as FR1A. There are also 3 international practice exams. We're not going to do any of them in AP Classroom, and we're not going to open them up for you because we're using all of that material in some fashion. It's either on a group quiz or it's on the mock exam. So y'all will be exposed to all 3 of these international practice exams, but not in their full practice exam format. They've been split up either into a group quiz or the mock exam. So this just gives you an idea of how things are structured because I'm sure each of your AP courses will treat it, AP Classroom, a little differently. And this last slide, or second to last slide, shows you how the OneStop Shop will be set up. So it'll tell you the date. It'll tell you what unit we're working on. So either an AP unit or it'll say mock exam when we get there. It'll have pre-work review videos, and then it will show you which days from the Round Rock curriculum line up with AP Unit 1, or which days from the Round Rock curriculum line up with AP Unit 2. Now, sometimes it's not perfect, but I did my best to match up our days with the correct unit. So as you're preparing for Unit 1, you can watch the Unit 1 review video and review your notes on days 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, and 1, 5. The first day is a little bit different because the free response question is going to be over Unit 8, so you'll want to review both of those. After that first day, it's just 1 unit per day. During the day, these links, none of them will be live. After 7th period, these 2 will go live, but we don't want you guys to work on them ahead of time. So after 7th period's had a chance to work on them, then these links will go live in case you miss class. The optional ones are already live because they're never going to be required to be turned in. So you can work ahead on those if you want to. So pre-work videos, you don't have to show notes, but you should be reviewing. During class, you'll take a group quiz and work on a free response question. And then after class, you'll have a required homework assignment out of AP Classroom. If you have questions or need help or anything, I will be in my classroom every day from 8:15 to 8:55 and during D-Lunch. If you miss one of the group quizzes, find other people who missed it and take it ASAP with any of the Calc AB teachers. Once AP exams start, so your other AP exams start, anything we do in class will just be extra. We will essentially have completed the review unit before any AP exams start. We'll do some extra practice that first week of AP exams for those of you guys that will be here, but it'll all be ungraded and it'll be available digitally in case you miss class. But anything that happens after AP exams start will be ungraded, so you don't have to stress out about it during your AP exams. You won't need to buy like an extra study book or anything like that for this course. As long as you do what your teacher asks you to do between now and the AP exam, you will be highly prepared to get the score that you want. Take care of yourselves. Focus on taking care of yourselves mentally and physically between now and the AP exam, as that's one of the most important things that can help you be successful. Good luck. I look forward to a strong finish to the year.